This is the Ku Klux Klan member interview, and I guess his name is Steven. Says over 1 million views. All right, let's play
But
it. And
I'm a calling me a racist is true. I'm a racist. Damn right I'm a racist, and I don't hide that.
wait, let's start it again.
I'm not a bigot, but I'm a calling me a racist is true. I'm a racist. Damn right I'm a racist, and I don't hide that. I'm a racist person, but I'm not a bigot. I don't hate anybody, but I'm a racist. A racist is somebody that loves their race and loves their people.
All right, Stephen. Stephen, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I grew up in New Albany, Mississippi.
And tell me about your childhood. You had both of your parents growing up as a kid?
My dad wasn't really in my life that much. My dad was a Vietnam veteran. He had a lot of health issues. He wasn't in my life a lot. I think my dad got in my life when I was about 16 years old. And my mother practically raised me and my brother herself. And also, I had a mother that was a very strong religious woman that raised me and my brother. So, I had a good childhood. I can't complain. I had a stern mother that taught me, to be an honest person and a good person. So, I had a decent childhood. I really did.
What kind of kid were you in high school?
I was a loner. I stayed to myself.
I bet the fuck
still to this day, I can't tolerate certain people. I just can't, and it's not really a racial issue. It's just I can't be around a bunch of people. I just don't like being around them.
Was
there racism in your family?
Around you either.
I grew up in a time when the riots in LA was going on. I'd be watching TV and stuff like that, and you'd see when they pulled that old boy out of that truck in LA, with the Rodney King stuff. And I grew up in a very racial time, so I grew up in a time where this stuff was not being forced down me, but maybe at the time I shouldn't have seen that as a child, but this was something that I seen a lot. It wasn't hidden from me. Racial stuff was not hidden from me. So yes, it was a part of my life. It was a part of my childhood. It was Mississippi burning when I was a kid. I always looked up to the Ku Klux Klan. I always admired the Ku Klux Klan. I always said that I'd be a great leader one day. I always said that.
Did you have relatives that were in the Klan?
My grandfather was a very racial person, but I'm not going to say he was a Ku Klux Klan member. But no, the Klan thing is something that I took on my own. It's something that I knew as a child that I'd do this. This is my calling. This has always been my calling.
So you're the Imperial Wizard.
I'm an Imperial Wizard. That's the highest rank as far as the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah.
And Mississippi is one of the strongest states for the Klan.
It is. It's one of the Mississippi White Knights is one of the most respected groups as far as the Ku Klux Klan goes.
Yeah.
We have the most respect. I had left the Mississippi White Knights for a little bit and started the North Mississippi White Knights, but now we're going to bring it back. We're going to get everything situated again, get the Claverins in order, and start everything back over again. So I've just moved back from Portland, Oregon. So I've got to. I lived up there for 4 years. It's very different. But I did love it. I love the weather. I love the beauty, and there's a lot of white people there, but they're liberal-minded. They have no idea. I was married to a Norwegian girl, and her family was very liberal in mindset and judgmental people. They judged me for being in the Klan. I'm no longer married to her, but at the time that was the love of my life, and it didn't work out. It just didn't work out because people are judgmental. They're too judgmental about everything you do in your life. And at the end of the day, they need to look under their doorstep and sweep and see what they've got going on in their life. Most people that judge me for being in the Ku Klux Klan and hate me for being in the Ku Klux Klan, there's an underlining reason for that. They're gay, they're homosexual, they're a race mixer, something like that. But I don't judge anybody. I give anybody a chance. But if you want to judge me and say, hey, this is that's wrong for the Ku Klux Klan, then I'm going to judge you. Because you're giving me an open door to judge you. So I'm not really a judgmental person. I don't force my beliefs on anybody until they want to judge me. So.
Interesting. So the South is notorious for racism. There's a long history of slavery, segregation, all kinds of issues that you guys get.
the poverty thing is that we have, like I said, I lived in Washington State. I lived in Portland, Oregon, and we have a lot more freedoms here than I did up there. So there's positive and negatives about the state of Mississippi, but I love the state of Mississippi. It's my home. I love it. There's great things about the state of Mississippi, and I love it. And the blacks tend to want to have a reason to bitch. Sorry about my language. They want to have a reason to gripe. They want to have a reason to throw a fit. They want to have a reason to tear shit up, and that's where the Ku Klux Klan comes in to put a stop to it and say it's not going to happen. You know, I've had corrupt cops in the city of Tupelo lose their job because Ku Klux Klan was involved, because we wasn't going to have it. We wasn't going to have it. I stood up for my people in the city of Tupelo and in the state of Mississippi. But blacks blame it on themselves. They do. It's like this officer that got shot in Atlanta. I mean, the officer that shot that guy in Atlanta took his taser, man. But what people don't understand, if you read the Turner Diaries, it plainly says it, that if you get the law, that's the last line of defense between us and communism. If you get rid of law enforcement, then that gives them, the communists, an open door to come in and take over. And I got a 19-year-old daughter, and that era, her age, around that age, is going to be the worst. I don't know what this country's going to become, because they're freeloaders. They don't want to work. All they want to do is smoke dope. They don't want to work. They don't want to do right. And and I try to instill that in my daughter, and I try to tell my daughter, that is going to be the worst generation ever. My generation was slacking on a lot of things, but that era, that generation is going to be, we're fucked. I mean, this country's fucked. But that's where the Ku Klux Klan is going to come in and say we're not going to have it.
KKK is fucked.
We're not going to have it. We're not going to put up with it.
The generation that's growing up
What is the basic idea
are
behind the Klan?
smarter, and they're more.
It's not just as simple as racism,
right? My belief and my goal for the Ku Klux Klan is, it's not really, it is a racial thing, because you got to be going to be white to be in the Ku Klux Klan. But my goal for the Ku Klux Klan is to protect this country from all that invasion, from anything, from any type of thing. The goal of the Ku Klux Klan is for the advancement of the white race. I'm not a bigot, but I'm a white separatist. I'm not a white supremacist. I don't consider my race superior. But we have to have organizations like the Ku Klux Klan to instill the children and the people that want to join, to teach them that there's a greater cause. There's a greater cause. Being a Klansman is one of the greatest things in the world. I mean, I love it. I wouldn't take anything for it. And am I judged? I don't give a shit. That's one thing about me. I don't care what anybody says about me. You can judge me. You can say anything you want about me. It doesn't affect me. Because the minute that a person takes time out of their day to judge me and say I'm wrong or I'm this and that means I've got to them. I've affected them. Because I don't give a shit what anybody else does. I don't. But the minute that they take time, it's like when people come to my rallies, and they make them signs up and all this shit. You took time out of your day to go make a sign, go buy that marker, go buy that poster board. I affected you. I won. It's an accomplishment for me. So,
So
separatism is a big part of the Klan?
I think the only way that the white race will ever survive, is we separate. And now, I'm not saying that we get rid of the blacks. I'm saying that give the blacks, just like the Indians, give them their own homeland, give them where they need to go, give them just as much rights as a white man does. But you put the biggest wall up like Donald Trump building on the southern border, and where it's separated. You're separate. The whites and blacks are separated. That's the only way we're going to survive.
So does the same thing apply to gays and Mexicans?
It's going to be odd for me to say this, but love is a hell of a thing. And it's going to be really odd for me to say this, but
everything you've said
love sees no color in some ways. It's weird for me to say that, but it's the truth. Love does not see a color. But you got to love somebody. That doesn't mean if you get with a black person, you sell out your race. You act black, and you sell out your race. You love a person not for their color, but for who they are as an individual. That's the reason I say love sees no color. And it took me a while to get to that point. I guess living in Portland taught me that. But, I've experienced. If you get out of the state of Mississippi and you go other places and you experience things, you find that love is an odd thing. It's an odd thing. It's worse than any drug you can have in your life. That's why I'm saying I married the love of my life, and I'm still in love with her, but it's over and done with. But you don't see a color when it comes to love. You don't. But you still need to have love for your race. You need to have love for your people. And is race mixing wrong? Race mixing is exactly wrong. You stay with your people. But
your ex-wife was white?
She was white. Oh yeah, definitely.
Are you religious?
I'm a Baptist.
But the Klan is a Christian organization?
Yeah, we're Christian. That's what we're about. I consider us like I've said it before, like the Taliban or Al Qaeda. I do consider us that. We're technically the same thing. We are, just like they are fighting. I said before, they're fighting a holy war. We are fighting a holy war for Christianity, for our race, and for our people. That's what we're fighting for. Have I done anything illegal? No. Have I been to prison? No. I've never been to prison. But I will always stand up for my race. And if it was ever a point to where I ever had to go to prison for doing the right thing and standing up for my race, I'd do it.
Do you guys still have rallies and crossbreeding?
Oh, definitely, definitely, yeah. I just had one in Russellville, Alabama. Cross lightings, yeah.
And there's still hangings of black men in Mississippi. I've seen news.
I don't think that's Klan related.
It's not Klan related.
No, I would know that if that was Klan related. I'm telling you for a fact, if that happened, if a Klansman went out and hung a black man in the state of Mississippi, I'd be the first one to know that.
Well, you're the head of the organization, so you'd know.
I'm a leader. Brother Richard is my leader. But I am an Imperial Wizard. Brother Richard's an Imperial Wizard. But right now, Brother Richard is the man that taught me everything I know.
What kind of shoes they got on?
So the Klan is smaller now than it was when you were younger, right?
No, when I was younger, there wasn't any much Klan around. But now there's so many underground Klansmen because, I don't know. It's like a lot of people, when Donald Trump got elected, they think the white supremacists are just rampant. They think the white supremacists are just rampant, and it's not true. We have stopped. Like I said, I lived in Washington State and Portland. And I come back home, and it's amazing me how nobody's doing nothing. Stand tall for what you believe in, fight for this shit, and get and that's what now I'm home, and we're gonna straighten the state of Mississippi out.
Did having a black president for 8 years affect you in any way?
The thing is about Barack Obama is a lot of people said that Barack Obama was worse than Jimmy Carter. I don't care who the president is. That doesn't affect me. I'm not a Donald Trump really supporter. I do support some of the shit that Donald Trump does, but Donald Trump also says a lot of dumb shit. If he'd keep his mouth shut, he'd be in a lot better shape.
He says a lot of dumb shit.
And that's the truth. But I love the president. I love Donald Trump. Wasn't a fan of Obama. Wasn't a fan of Bush. But in anything, when it's like the Klan was more awake when Obama was in there. Now that Trump's in there, it's like we've quit, and it's not going to happen. I'm going to be the gasoline and the match that's on the fire to light this shit back up, and I'm going to light it back up.
Black people were
and I can do
up
it.
And up. Of course, you guys have to be active.
I'm telling you, gasoline. We're going to pour some gasoline on this shit and light this bitch up, and it's going to be wide open.
I don't even like listening to this.
So do you see whites as superior to other races?
No, I never said that. I'm not a white supremacist. I don't consider my race superior to anybody. But we do have a lot of accomplishments that is left out, that we've done a lot of great things. I'm a white separatist. I believe that we should be separated, but I don't consider the white race superior to anybody. I believe that the white race is the most beautiful thing in the world. It's like, do you really want me talking about my ex-wife?
It's up to you. I mean, we're not going to mention her name.
Okay, so I don't see how somebody, I'm going to tell you something about the beauty of the white race. Somebody can be Norwegian. My ex-wife was Norwegian ancestry. How you can be Norwegian, how you can be anything European, and then sell your race out and not be proud of your race. The Norwegian people are some of the most beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful women. I mean, the woman that I was married to was amazing. That was my trophy wife, I guess you could say. And, but how can you be, I'm English ancestry, but how can you be German or anything like that? I consider that, it's all the white race, but that is a superior, you want to talk about superiority. Norwegian, anything like that, that is a superiority of the white race. But how can you not be proud of that? If you want to talk about superior, that is superior. That ancestry. Like I said, I'm English ancestry. I'm Howard. All my people come from England. So, and most people in the South are that. They're English ancestry. So, but how can you be pure? I'll call that pure Aryan race, and not be proud of that, and not stand up for that. I don't. It amazes me how that happens. It amazes me. I don't like race traitors. I don't like race mixers. Because that's killing out the white race. Now, like I said, I'm not a white supremacist. I'm a white separatist. I believe that whites and blacks should be separated. I don't believe in race mixing. I believe that race mixers are the worst part that are ruining the white race. I've had a black woman tell me that she would never be with a black man because the way the black men are. This is coming out of a black woman's mouth. A black woman that I knew, everybody's got mammy or whatever. This is a black woman that practically raised me as a child, that babysitted me as a child, like a mammy, And that woman will tell me to this day. She's an older woman, tell me to this day. She'll never be with a black man.
How do you feel about the Black Lives Matter movement?
The movement itself, I don't know much about it. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't wrap my whole mind around what that is. I can't. What is that? A political organization? Is it a black supremacist organization? They have a right to be proud to be black, but Black Lives Matter. They are, to me, they're a black supremacist organization, and that's why you need organizations like the Ku Klux Klan to say we're not going to have that. We're going to stop that. I've run into Black Lives Matter in Tupelo before.
Why is he allowed to have a supremacist?
The Klan,
black people can't.
When I was a young child, like I said, I looked up to the Ku Klux Klan. I always wanted to be a Klansman. But the Klan has bettered me as an individual. I have people that come up to me and be like, man, I know who you are. Local celebrity around here. And literally people I've worked with or people I know call me the local celebrity. I don't consider myself a celebrity. I don't consider myself better than anybody. I put my britches on just like anybody else does. Anything that I've done in the Ku Klux Klan, I try to tell these other guys, stand up, take charge. Like I said, because a Klansman's going to stand top of what he believes in. I'm not a coward. I don't cover my face. I will never cover. When I joined this organization, to be a leader, to take charge, to be a role model for other men. So I will never hide my face because the Klan is the greatest thing that has ever come in my life, and I do not regret it. Love it. Love it.
So it's Juneteenth this weekend. Will you be celebrating?
No, definitely not.
No rallies.
That's something about that. I don't know much about that holiday. I don't know. I know it's free to the slaves or whatever, but I believe that when we brought them over here, we bettered that race. If they think they've got it so bad over here, take your ass back to Africa. I will gladly pay for a boat trip, for a boatload of them motherfuckers, and take them back there. I will pay for it. I will rent the boat and pay for that son of a bitch if they don't like it in this country. Gladly pay the ticket. I will pay the ticket.
You think that taking